Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Strategic Command World War I, our Let's Play series, playing a multiplayer game, my first ever multiplayer game in this series, playing against Alex Berry, the board game designer behind High Treason, The Trial of Louis Riel, and The Corrupt Bargain, the 1824 presidential election board game. We are going to be looking at turn 2 in today's episode. In turn 1, the Central Powers I'm playing is the Entente, did attack into Belgium. They did some damage. They took Liege. They damaged but did not take Brussels, and did a little bit of damage in France, but they didn't really make any progress there. So a fairly static Western Front for the first turn. In the east, they managed to push a little bit into Russia. And then in Serbia, they weakened the garrison at Belgrade. We swapped the garrison in Belgrade out with a fresh unit, although it won't be dug in, so that's a concern. And then we also did counterattack the Russians, destroying a couple of cavalry units, the Austro-Hungarians and Germans, destroying a couple of cavalry units in the east and pushing into Galicia. We also did push into eastern Prussia, but we'll see how this plays out this time around. So we're going to go ahead and load the save. We'll play the replay, and we will see what the Central Powers do against us. I'm a little bit worried that my entrenchments on the Western Front were not made strong. We moved several units around so that we're not as dug in as I'd like to be. And then in the east, I may have overcommitted some of my cavalry, but let's see what he did to us this turn. So it's loading. Now these replays go pretty quick, so it looks like he's attacking. Wow. A single attack at Brussels overwhelmed the enemy unit there, unfortunately. Attacking out of Czernowitz, so he did drive our troops back south of Prosecco in the east. He's attacking the French here on our left flank. Did drive us back and destroyed the unit there at Reims, so he did break our front open in the west by about 3 hexes. He's not along the channel there. They also destroyed a cruiser here in the Adriatic, driving the Serbians back out of Austria-Hungary. Man, they drove into Reims and attacked our headquarters unit near Chalon. So they've got a full-on breakthrough on the Western Front, kind of. Meanwhile, he is going aggressive with his... I thought he was going aggressive with his navy. Let's see if he's trying to counterattack near Tannenberg. Beating up a Russian corps there. Attacking out of Krakow, defeating a Russian cavalry unit there. And that's it. Okay. So, Belgium was a concern. His drive in toward Reims, again, is a concern. There's a gap in our front there. So we lost the 5th Corps of the French, the 1st Belgian Corps. Chatham Light Cruiser was sunk. The 4th Russian Cavalry Corps was destroyed. Be advised, the enemy may decide unrestricted submarine warfare against our convoy routes, bringing supplies to the UK. So basically, we want to put naval units on hexes marked with merchant shipping. They can shut down our commerce. Maintain naval forces available to attack enemy subs. Okay. Regular armies too small to fight a long war. Huge numbers of recruits are coming forward to enlist. Yes, I would like to form a new army. Tsar Nicholas I of Russia suggested we provide our ally Montenegro with a headquarters. Why would we say no? Okay. Give me another headquarters unit. Okay, so he did not attack Belgrade directly. He did drive back a army corps here in Serbia. But let's actually, first things first, let's go to the Western Front. So he did not break through... Let's see here. So he took Brussels. He didn't take Antwerp. He has pushed through a gap east of Paris. I would expect his cavalry there to be a little bit exposed. So here's what I'm going to do. These guys at Ypres are already dug in. We've already lost the capital of Belgium here at Brussels. So I assume our alternate capital moves to here. Ypres or entrenchments will face south. I will dig the first cavalry corps in, I think. I don't like using cavalry to hold a fixed position, but we're going to dig in at Lille. Also an objective here with the French corps here. So hopefully the lines are starting to solidify. We have pulled, it looks like he's pulled troops off the immediate French border here as we pulled back toward Nancy. So we've got a lot of troops here who are starting to dig in and have some entrenchments. But we do need to move some troops around here, so okay, so our whole front here, as far west as Verdun, northwest as Verdun, is dug in. I've got 2 free corps east of Reims, and then 2 corps in Paris and adjacent to Paris free as well. So let's do this. Let's move the 10th Corps and attack the German 2nd Corps here to try and pinch it off. We'll move the British 1st Corps also to do the same thing. Can these guys still entrench? They can't. I'm inclined to pull them back, but let's see. See if we can destroy this German corps. So we just destroyed a German corps. We'll pull the 1st Corps back off the front line to keep it somewhat secure. Also forms a little bit of a reserve. So we destroyed one of the German breakthrough corps and closed the gap a little bit with the 2nd Corps, although they're not dug in. They are level 2 experience, which hopefully gives them a bit of an advantage. Let's move. Can we move reconnaissance bombers here? I don't know that they do us any good. It does give us some intel on the enemy, I guess. Alright, let's move the 11th Corps. Are you seriously? I don't get any advantage for attacking them? That's weird. So these guys are a corps, these guys just have more experience, I guess. Okay, then the 1st Corps will move out this way, try and hit these guys, weaken them a bit. That did not go well. Back that up. What if I pull these guys out of their entrenchments? Yes. Okay. So we drove that enemy cavalry back. Move these guys into this entrenchment here. We didn't quite destroy the enemy cavalry, unfortunately, but we did damage it at least. I could move the 2nd Belgian Corps down to finish it off, but I don't think abandoning Ypres would be worth it. So we badly damaged the 4th Cavalry Corps. It also still kind of gums up the works because they're adjacent to us. So we pinched off, at least temporarily, this breakthrough. He may try and go back for Reims again. I'm not sure. Let's operate the 18th Corps from Tours down here. Or maybe just march them. I guess an operate. I hate spending points, but I'm thinking an operation might be better. Okay. Might have been worth. I'm wondering if it would have been worthwhile bringing. Is this Verdun right here? Yeah. We'd have a shorter line if we pulled back from Verdun, but it's a major sort of morale center. There's no real way for me to get any of these troops up to finish off this cavalry unit here. I suppose we could operate a... Could we operate these guys in to Ypres? We could. Is it worth the destruction of an enemy cavalry unit? Probably not. Alright, let's do this. Let's move these guys up from best gun here behind Reims in case the enemy counterattacks there and destroys that corps that's currently in Reims, which was one of our foundational units. Can I swap with these guys? No. Alright. Can we also reinforce this army which had been damaged, and we'll move this. So we got a headquarters unit at Epinal, Toul, Chalon. Then we have a British headquarter unit at Amiens and a Belgian headquarter unit at Boulogne. Most of our troops haven't moved in the last turn. We do have some units around this initial breakthrough that have moved, but we've got basically 2 levels of soldiers here that they'll have to attack through. Additionally, the 9th Corps, which is at the head of their line here south of Brussels, is down to 6 hit points. So hopefully that's good enough for us. No sign of the enemy in the North Sea. Just driving these guys off the blockade line to scout south into the North Sea. See if there's any Germans out here that we can spot. How do I get rid of these mines? Do I have to sail through them to get rid of them? So we just laid 3 mines east, well actually west of Wilhelmshaven off the Norwegian coast, kind of in open waters. Maybe that'll protect these guys a little bit. So I gotta sail through these mines. Oh. They made it through those mines without damage? Oh, that time they didn't. Alright, so I let my cruiser take 6 hit points of damage to clear those mines. Perhaps that's unwise. I don't know. I'm curious about his subs and where they might be. I'm tempted to lay some mines in front of our convoy routes to kind of act as a barrier against his subs. But I think most of these ships will probably stay in port. Most of these French and British ships will probably stay in port unless we think he's going to bring his high seas fleet out against us. I suppose we could bring the French fleet at least into the channel, maybe. Maybe send some of these British pre-dreadnoughts up to Scotland here as a bit of a reserve in the event that he does decide to move against the fleet. Then at least we'll have some heavier hitters within supporting distance and some cruisers within some supporting distance of the main fleet, should he decide to do that. Keep some destroyers around our commerce lanes. Okay. I suppose moving infantry in here where the first cavalry is would make sense. Eventually. French and British incomes at 140. Let's immediately get to work on trenches. We'll do infantry weapons probably next turn. Maybe fighter development too. And then the British also, or the French also need trenches. Save the remaining 25. Italy, I don't have anything to do with those troops, so the Italians will stay still. And then we'll move to Serbia. So we've got this additional headquarters unit here. Serbia has 87 income. We can spend it on reinforcing some of these guys. So these guys are already entrenched in Belgrade. I'm surprised the enemy didn't try and attack us here, frankly. I reinforced the flank units with all my money for Serbia. Should have reinforced these guys. We'll pull them back to try and keep them safe. Maybe move these guys over this way. Try and defend behind the river south of Valjevo, or however you pronounce that. So even if they break through, the garrison out at Uzik should still be dug in. They'll move the South Serbian Corps forward here. Let's attack with them because I'm worried about like 6 units all attacking Belgrade simultaneously. The Second Corps is not going to move. They should get some entrenchment bonuses. Or do I need to dig them back in again? Thought they were already dug in. Guess they weren't. Maybe that'll help. You know, let's attack against the 12th Corps. We lost more than we gained, but if he wants to attack toward Krajovak, then that's, frankly, I think I'm better off if he does. At least this unit takes casualties, so both the 12th Corps and the 13th Corps are beat up a bit, while his 3rd, 4th, and 8th Corps and 7th Corps are all fresh. He may overrun Valjevo if he focuses all these corps against it, but then again, Belgrade would be safe for another turn. Okay. Meanwhile, we did lose a ship in here. That was a cruiser, right? There's a Austro-Hungarian battleship in here. Is it worth sailing against them? I got a battle cruiser, a dreadnought, armored cruisers. Okay. We drove theirs back with pretty bad damage. I don't know what he's got here, if anything. Fuck. Just got a light cruiser of mine sunk, probably. Okay. Do we try and bypass to sink this guy? Maybe it's worth it. Alright, we sank an Austro-Hungarian battlecruiser. So that's good. I'm sure we'll lose this light cruiser here, but I'd say that's a pretty tremendous result. Fuck. I shouldn't have sailed my armored cruiser right through a minefield. So that probably will focus on going for the Indomitable. We did beat up one of their destroyers. I'm assuming they've got an armored cruiser and a pre-dreadnought. I don't know if we go to reports here. The Austro-Hungarian fleet is 7 ships right now. The British have lost 1 detachment, 1 corps. The French have lost 1 corps. What corps did the British lose? Where was that? 1 light cruiser. 1 dreadnought for the Austro-Hungarians and 1 cavalry corps. Gotta imagine that's a pretty big deal to lose that ship for Austria-Hungary. Also, Austria-Hungary's national morale is like a thing I should be attacking. In the same way that I think the enemy's going to attack my national morale in Russia. I mean, those are losses they can ill afford. I think what we'll do is move our sub here in front of our battle cruiser to protect it. Move our pre-dreadnought here, so you can only attack through 1 hex. The thing I don't love is that I'm fighting these battles with a far from full strength navy. Like, these ships are largely well under strength. Of course, many of his are too. If the Goeben shows up for the Germans, that may change the calculus here a bit. Let's move our armored cruiser in front of our battle cruiser here to protect it a bit. I don't know. I mean, again, they got 7 ships. We know they've got 1 destroyer, 1 pre-dreadnought, 1 armored cruiser, so that's almost half their fleet. Maybe they've got 2 more pre-dreadnoughts. I don't know. How far out can you scout? Can you fly? I don't know what your range is. I'm wondering if I can fly scouts over Italy to scout out this way. I'm assuming if I force it, I can't move them. Yeah, they can't do a scouting mission when you do like a force march effectively. But cram in the Adriatic with the French and British Mediterranean squadrons. We do have the Jean Bart, which are left behind, which is trying to repair, or not the Jean Bart, the Corbeau. My own ships didn't lose too badly. The light cruiser de Entrecasteaux is down to 3, but everybody else is about 5 or above. So we'll see. I'm guessing he's got at least 1 more cruiser light ship, so at most 3 pre-dreadnoughts? I don't know. I would think we outnumber them, but we'll see. Not knowing where Guben is and if he already elected to send him down to help the Ottomans. Do we have any other ships in the Eastern Med we can swing in that way? Doesn't look like it. The Cassard light cruiser can come up this way. Alright. Oh, shit. Well, there's one of their ships. They've got a sub along the Egypt-UK convoy route. So they've got at least 1 sub. These other 3 ships, so that gives them 4, so that means a maximum of 3 more ships in the Adriatic. Okay. I'm glad to see that, frankly. Alright, let's move to the Russian front. So he battered the 8th Corps here on the southern flank. He's digging in near Lemberg. He also is attacking out of... not out of, but near Allenstadt. Right, so the Germans appear to be forming up a defensive line near Königsberg in the east, maybe not trying to push too hard there. I don't think I want to push against them. I think they've got better troops than I do there. What's the supply situation? East Prussia, it's pretty okay. Okay. Can we not? shift these entrenchments around. They're facing the wrong direction. Anyway, these guys have advanced into East Prussia and are now largely going to hold their position. Okay. We'll see if he wants to come out against us in this area. Dig in at Tilsit. So in the Eastern Prussian front, we've at least got a solid line. And then we're going to focus the rest of our forces. We'll leave a reserve, I guess, at Gordano. Or maybe we should move these guys in toward... I don't know. I'd like to advance a little bit further. Okay. Digging around Lodz. He could come out of Posen, attacking in toward central Poland. So we'll swing the corps at Seydlitz over here as a reserve. We'll leave that headquarters at Warsaw. And then our major effort this turn. Alright, let's move one mostly fresh corps toward Prosecco and Trench facing south. Reinforce this corps, the 8th Corps, east of Chernowitz. He may advance against them into Russia, we'll see. And then let's try to, because I don't think attacking Lemberg directly. I suppose we could try and scout him and see if it makes a difference. Doesn't seem to. Could try and destroy another corps near Lemberg. He's got a lot of forces there to aid in its defense. Maybe we just try and attrit him a bit. Be great if we could surround it. I don't really think we can. Alright, so this corps is probably fucked. I destroyed one of his corps, but at the cost of likely losing one of my own. I'm sure he will put all his effort into destroying this Russian corps south of Lemberg. In theory, I could move my cavalry down here to shield it a bit. We could move... Do you want to risk losing an infantry and a cavalry unit, or just leave the infantry that's going to die? So we at least weakened one of their adjoining corps. So I'm curious if he'll try and push out of Chernowitz into Russia from there. Okay. So we've kind of got Lemberg threatened with encirclement. We've got a corps at 5 here to the east of Lemberg, which is a little vulnerable to destruction. We also have a corps here, which is definitely an assailant, vulnerable to destruction. So the Russians are getting aggressive, but it may end up hurting us. We'll see. We also do have one corps back at Petrograd. Let's go ahead and operate it forward. Do anybody else further back? Ooh, nice. We've got multiple corps forming near Moscow. We'll see if he tries to... I'd love to take Lemberg. I think that would be a big victory for us. Maybe Stanislaw as well. Okay. It's the two glass-jawed empires seeing who can deal who a death blow first, really. Do I need these garrisons at these places? I don't think I do. And while the detachments won't be terribly useful in major combat, they can hold a spot in the line, so there aren't any gaps. Okay, hopefully we don't have any major defeat here in the east. National morale of Austria-Hungary is down to 95. Britain's at 99. France is at 97. Serbia's at 98. Russia's at 99. Germany's at 100. Austria-Hungary, we already looked at. I believe that one reserve corps at Gronino. And I'm really just trying to gang up here in Galicia to see if I can take Premysl, Lemberg, and Stanislaw. That would be a big win. I think that's most of my stuff. Like, I've still got a lot of the British fleet. Oh wait, we've got a Russian corps at Helsinki? I don't have any points to operate it, though. So no point in trying to move them. I don't think we want to remove the Russian fleet against these guys. I can move through my friendly mines, can't I? Okay. I suppose there's always the risky lands troops along the coast at like Riga or something like that. Really? I'm gonna lose take casualties for moving my own ship through my own minefield? What the fudge? I don't even want to risk them getting beat up then. Move these guys into the Gulf of Riga. Maybe we move, like, mine the entrance to the Gulf of Riga to make sure the enemy doesn't get too bold there. I don't know why I did that. I just mined my own ships in. What the fudge? Oh well. Dumb. Does the US has 79 MPPs? Do we want to spend that a little bit on some research? Could go for tank development, logistics, trenches. I mean, who knows how much they'll matter when they're around. Industrial technology seems like the best one to me. I think we'll hold off on that for now. Yeah. All right. I think that's it for this turn. It's a longer second turn than I thought, but overall, happy we destroyed the core in Austria-Hungary. Not thrilled we're going to probably lose another core or two on that front, but really the name of the game is beating up Austria so they can't be a major player. Maybe pulling troops away from Serbia to keep Serbia alive longer. And I kind of view this naval fracas in the Adriatic as a potential opportunity for us to deal the Austrians some major national morale hurt. I don't think he's going to invest heavily in the Austrian Navy, but I do think if we can sink a couple more ships, I mean, a dreadnought there, that was a 750 national morale hit. And that's big. You know, he's lost 1,600 so far. 750 of that was that one capital ship. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer. Well, actually, wait. We got to end the turn and see if there's any events. Or if it just packages it up and sends it. Lemberg is under siege. The defenders' morale is reduced. Why would it be... Wouldn't it be his flag? Why do I have a Russian flag there? French mobilization continues, so we're getting more units deploying. Same for Russia. Good, another headquarters, just what we need. Entente naval units north of Scotland blockade imports to Germany. Yep. North Sea, too. Japan declares war on the Central Powers. Thousands of recruits come forward to enlist in Kitchener's new army. And there you go. So that'll be the turn. It's going to go back to him. We'll see how quickly he gets back to us. But overall, a bit of a mixed bag. I'm a little worried about maybe being too aggressive in a few places. But I feel like when you play humans, you're more likely to see aggressive play. So hopefully that's good for us. But we'll see. Until next time, though, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.